"This planet have a name?" Reynolds asked, glancing at Gia. "It is listed under the incredibly original Grindlovic 3, she answered. "Nothing in the way of intel on it, seeing as how the system is barely a blip in the databases. It appears to be densely populated, though, which is a good sign regarding interaction. We're also picking up a lot of electronic warbles in and around their atmosphere. Place looks to be fairly high-tech, but we're not able to get a clear picture of their capabilities." "You mean they're purposely blocking the scans?" Reynolds wondered. "Either that or their tech is sufficiently advanced to prevent intrusion. Hard to tell if it's intentional or just business as usual. We're getting lots of feedback against the scanners. I suspect we'll know more as we get closer." Gia wound her hands together as she studied the main screen. One of Reynolds' chrome eyebrows rose. "Are you picking up Kurtherian energy signatures in any of that noise?" he asked. "Yes and no," Gia answered. "I'm impressed by your clarity," Tactical muttered. "Which is it?" "There's nothing definitive." Gia walked to the front of the bridge and examined the readings. "There are trace signatures that make me suspicious about their source." Reynolds joined her. "Suspicious how? Explain." "All part of the training process. The AI didn't have a definitive answer either." Gia pointed at General Maddox, who was working at his console, and together they trooped to his station. Maddox shrugged, tapping on his console and showing the captain his findings. "I'm not exactly sure how to describe it," he said. "It's like their technology has been influenced by Kurtherian tech, but it's not Kurtherian tech." "Tomato, orange," Tactical called. "It is or it isn't." Maddox shrugged. "Then I'd say it's not. But there's no way to rule out the obvious influence that's there. Either the Grindlovian society has had interactions with Kurtherians at some point in their evolution, or you have inexplicable coincidences in the similarity of technological advancement. Not sure what else to tell you. Maybe there are Kurtherians in hiding on the planet, secretly guiding their evolution," Reynolds said, rubbing his metallic hands together. "Entirely possible," Maddox answered. "We could always take a look." "Good thing we're going there already, huh?" Gia asked with a grin. "You can snoop to your metal heart's content once we arrive, Reynolds. How about that?" Reynolds returned to standing in front of the main view screen as the planet grew closer and he could pick out more detail. His eyes narrowed as he spied what was clearly not a natural formation around the planet. A great ring encircled the planet, visible even from a distance, but it was difficult to see just what it was. "Zoom in on the planet, Gia." She did, and Reynolds could finally make out what he was seeing. "There's a man-made defensive perimeter around the planet," he noted. "It looks like a space station has been built around the entire planet. If I were a betting AI, I'd say it's heavy with weapons emplacements. We may not want to get too close without their approval." "It is in synchronized orbit with Grindlovic 3. That's impressive," Exo said. "Are those ships around it?" Gia asked as they drew closer. "They are indeed," Reynolds answered, knowing that the ring station served as a docking platform for the mass of destroyers that filled the space around the planet. "Whoa," Rhea muttered. "There sure are a lot of them." The new kid was right. Reynolds made a quick count and was surprised to find a fleet of over 50 ships holding a defensive posture above Grindlovic 3. "We should probably reach out before we get too close," Maddox reiterated. "Already on it," Com replied. "Hailing all frequencies, but that perimeter squall is going to make it difficult to get a signal through." "It'll have ears, guaranteed," Reynolds replied. "It might not reach planet-side, but it'll get through to the people it needs to." "How can you be sure?" Gia asked. "You mean besides the 10 destroyers that just peeled out of formation from the fleet and are now headed our way?" he asked. Gia stiffened. "I'd say that's a pretty good indication they heard us." "Just a matter of whether they understood us," Com mentioned. "If not, we might be in for a fight." "I wonder what they're packing," Tactical asked. "Scanners show solid firepower," Gia answered. "But we've got them beat in pure muscle. They don't have railguns or the absolute beast."